Hey y'all. So I wanted to just come in and talk about, generational cycles, negative cycles. I don't necessarily like to say generational curses because I feel like whenever you say a generational curse, it's kind of like you're doomed sometimes. And so I don't want to necessarily say a curse, but I did want to say that I was really proud of some of my clients these last couple of weeks who I've helped them understand not only the pathology of where that cycle, that negative cycle came from, and illustrating and showing them how they have been the catalyst for changing that in their own lives. And it's such a rewarding feeling. Of course, everyone doesn't have a close relationship with their biological parents or whomever has raised them. They may be dealing with abandonment issues. They may be dealing with, you know, uh, verbal, physical abuse. They may be dealing with all sorts of things. And so, in seeing some of them for the first time, coming into counseling, but when I talk to them, they are married or they're in a committed relationship, and they may have kids, and their kids are living in a two-parent household, which for the clients that I've been seeing, they did not have that experience. And so sometimes when we don't feel like we're doing enough, we have to be reminded that we're doing more than what our parents were able to do for us. And to understand that the parents that we were given, we didn't choose, right? We were given them. And our parents had their own story. They didn't choose their parents. They didn't choose where they were born, how they were born. And so sometimes we have to take the pedestal that sometimes we put our parents on and to put them in a humanistic way, understanding the perspective of who they are. They were 10, they were 11, they were babies. They were looking up to a parent to care for them, to love them, to protect them. And they did not get that. And in turn, they internalized that and acted out in a negative way based upon their own upbringing. And so sometimes when we think, man, they don't understand, I don't know why they would do this, they didn't have a good close parental relationship, why would they do that to me? And it's because people do what they know how to do when they know how to do it. They didn't have the skills, and so they're looking at, well, what is my neighbor doing, what does my friend do, how did somebody else handle it, and accepting that as a way to manage the stress and the traumas that they've gone through. So I say all this to say that I'm really proud of a couple of my clients that have really taken that leap of faith to come to counseling, but to be honest and vulnerable enough to share about the pathologies and the upbringings that they've had, and for me to be there to help them understand, like, wow, and through all of that, here you are. And through all of that, here you are. You may be married, one's married, you have kids, you're working, you went to school, all of these things that a few generations ago would not have been possible. And here you are. So we have to give ourselves credit whenever we don't feel like we should, because sometimes we don't feel like we're doing enough. We don't feel like, we're still dealing with these past issues. But we have to realize how far we've come and congratulate ourselves throughout that journey. That's all.